Hi guys, and welcome back to the Family Fudge. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 baby names that I love but probably won't be using. Now I say probably because we already have 4 kids that are 7 years old and under, the youngest being only 9 months. So for right now, we are good on kids. But I'm not going to put my foot down and totally close the door on the possibility that down the road, maybe. So, like I said, probably won't be using these names. Now, I love choosing baby names. In fact, there has been some pregnancies where literally the day I found out I was pregnant, I was looking at my baby name book. And as you can see, this one is well loved. I've had it for many years. In fact, I've had it for all of my kids. This is the baby name Wizard, and this has a lot of common names, but not so common names as well. But it has like a little chart where you can see like how popular the name is and what the name means and that kind of stuff. Because when I'm picking a name, I take that all into consideration. You know, what is their nickname gonna be? Can it be made fun of? You know, does it rhyme with anything weird? How popular, like I said, how popular it is, and if it flows with the rest of the family names. Like I said, we have 4 kids already. Now, in case you're new here, I'll go ahead and tell you. My name is Jennifer, and my husband's name is John, and so him and I both have really popular names. My name was like the #1 most popular name when I was born, and so I was never the only Jennifer like in school or classes, never. I was okay with that, but when I named my kids, I wanted to make sure that the names that I chose weren't super popular, like further than the top 10. I wanted to stay away from the top 10 most popular of that year if I could. But I also didn't want to pick things that were like too obscure, maybe weird to some people. So yeah, and also when my husband and I were choosing these names, we were always very courteous of each other's choices. Neither one of us ever like put our foot down and said, no, I hate that name, we cannot use that. We always just worked together and just came to an agreement. It was never like an argument at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you the kids' names that we already have. So the oldest is Mackenzie, she's 7. My husband picked that name. I was actually leaning more towards Michaela, but Mackenzie just seemed to fit better. And then Jackson, I was very close to naming him Joseph, but my mom suggested Jackson, and it just sounded like the right choice. Our youngest daughter's name is Lily, and I actually picked that name for 2 reasons. My grandmother's name was Rose, so I knew I wanted like a flower name in honor of her, but I also was a really big Harry Potter fan, and so she's kind of named after Lily Potter as well. And then Griffin, I definitely chose that name. I thought it was a little further down on the popularity list because both Jackson and Lily ended up being more popular than I thought they would be, so I wanted to pick something a little bit further down the list for him. Griffin's actually a Harry Potter inspired name too. Yeah, so maybe it's a little bit weird. It's definitely the most obscure name that we have, but it's growing in popularity. Okay, without further ado, here are the 10 baby names that I love but probably won't be using. I'm going to share with you my top 5 girl names and my top 5 boy names, and I'm going to alternate them. And I do have to say one more thing, that when I got out this book and I started writing down my list, my kids were really excited. In fact, they were so excited that they made their own list of names that they thought were good baby name choices. So when I get done sharing with you my names, I'll share with you some of my kids' suggestions. And let me just say, they're not gonna happen. I have a lot of girl names that I like. It was really hard to narrow it down to 5. So because I have so many that I love, I might make a part 2 of this video. Okay, I have my cheat sheet here because I wanted to share with you the names, but then I also wanted to share with you how popular that name is today in 2017. Just in case you're an expecting mama out there and you're thinking that you might want to use these names, I think it might be helpful to you guys to know, you know, what the name sort of means, where it comes from, and how popular it is. Okay, so the first name that I really love, this is a girl's, I'm gonna start with the girls' names. The first one that I really love but probably won't use is Hazel. Hazel is number 49 on the most popular names this year, and I found all this information on babycenter.com. So that's how the ranking is done. But yes, I love the name Hazel. I think it has a vintage sort of chic charm to it. I'm not sure what the origin is on that, but I do know that it obviously comes from the hazelnut tree. One boy name that I love but probably won't be using is Cody. Cody is an English sort of Celtic name, and it is number 274 on the most popular list, and it means helpful. My next baby girl name that I love but probably won't be using is Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte is timeless. When I think of Charlotte, I think of number one, like the Jane Austen era Charlottes. But then I also think of, you know, Princess Charlotte. So it was popular then, it's popular now, it's just a gem. I think it's feminine and beautiful, and I love the idea of shortening it to like Charlie. Even for a girl, I think that's really cute, or even Lottie. I think that is so adorable. But it's literally like, it's like number 7 popular though. It's really, really popular these days, and that's probably why I wouldn't use it. Back to the boy names. I love the name Liam, but it's actually the number 1 most popular name this year. That's definitely why I wouldn't want to use it, but I do really love it. I think it's cute. It's an Irish or Celtic name, and it's short for William. My next baby girl name that I won't be using, but I still love, is Beatrice, and that's Beatrice with an X. I just think the X looks really cool. And it's actually a family name for me. My great-grandmother's name was Ollie Beatrice, although it was spelt with a C. But so I love that name, but I feel like, let's see, it is number 1,241 on the list. So it is super unpopular, but I still love it. Beatrice is of a German origin, and it means blessed. The next boy name that I really love is Oliver. It is actually number 4 on the most popular list. Again, probably why I wouldn't use it. My grandmother told all of us grandkids that one of us should definitely use the name Oliver if we ever had a son. And I would, but I don't feel like it really goes with our last name. So, and it's super popular right now, but I do love the name Oliver. Especially if you guys watch Daily Bumps, their oldest son's name is Oliver, and they call him Ollie for short. I think that is really cute. Oliver is sort of a mixed origin. I've seen French or Latin suggested, but it comes from the olive tree. When I started researching the meaning of my favorite baby names, I realized that I actually really liked a lot of botanical names. Is that weird? I like Rose and Lily and like tree names. The next baby girl name I love is Matilda. It's not very popular. It's number 517 on the list, but I think it is so cute and sweet. But I could probably never use that name because I have a niece named Madeline, and we shorten that to Maddie, and I kind of feel like I would want to do that with Matilda as well, shorten it to Maddie. We just can't have 2 Maddies. So the next baby name that I love is probably my most out there name, and it is Phoenix. I really love the name Phoenix. It's not very popular. In fact, it is number 4,726, but is of Greek origin, and it means bird. It's another Harry Potter inspired name. Yes, I'm weird. But I've met a couple of little boys named Phoenix, and they were just like super cool, and it's like a hip, fun, definitely not common name. The last baby girl name that I love but probably won't be using is Willow. It's not super uncommon, but it's also not super popular. It's number 83 on the list this year. It is of English origin, and it means a willow tree. But I do have to say that this name was on the list years ago, probably when we were naming Jackson or Lily, and I mentioned it to somebody that, oh, I really like the name Willow. And they were like, Willow? You mean like that old movie that came out in what, like the 80s or 90s? Did you guys ever see that movie Willow? So it kind of like put me off the name. Let me know in the comments down below if that's ever happened to you. You share a name that you love with your friends or your family, and they were like, huh? Why would you pick that? Let me know if it like ruined the name for you, if you were like, no, I'm gonna use it anyway. Alright, the last baby boy name that I love but probably won't be using is Theodore. It's number 108 this year, so it's not super popular, but it's kind of a classic, old-timey sounding name. In fact, I had a great-grandfather named Theodore. I'm pretty sure there's a Theodore on my husband's side as well, so it's kind of a family name. And I think that shortening it to Teddy would be super cute. So quickly, I'm going to share with you a couple of the baby names that my kids picked out. I thought it was pretty interesting. My 5-year-old, that's Jackson, he actually sat down with this book and he's just like now learning to write, and so he wrote down these names as best as he could. But he wrote down Dwayne, Eric, Emmanuel, Ezekiel, and Earl. You can tell he was on the E page, but yes, I won't be using any of those names, but I thought that was so cute that he liked those names. And then Mackenzie picked Samantha and Max. Let me know in the comments down below if you've actually used any of my favorite names for your kids, and let me know what your favorites are. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.